All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kyle Escamilla, and I am the training coordinator for AVEVA Select California. I'd like to thank you for attending our Learn in 30 webinar today focused on Connect Visualization. After the webinar this morning, we will be doing a short Q&A, so please type any questions or comments into the Q&A box during or after the presentation, and we'll get to them at the end. So now I'd like to introduce your presenter for today's webinar, Elkanza Kuza. Elkanza is a product specialist here at AVEVA Select California. Good morning, Elkanza.
Hi, good morning, Kyle, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our second webinar this week on Connect. Today, we're going to be talking about Connect Visualization Services. We did have a webinar a couple of days ago on Tuesday on Connect Data Services. So if you guys missed that, I think we can send the recording or maybe post the link in the chat or something. But I highly encourage you guys have a look at that. It's pretty much the core service in Connect. So in order to understand how the data is prepared and where the data is coming from, and data sources and all of that, you need to understand data services. I do have few slides, a little bit more than I did on Tuesday, and then we're gonna go and do a walkthrough in the platform itself. So we're gonna log into the portal, and we're gonna see how things look like in the cloud and how does the solution look like. But for now, let me first of all share my screen. I don't think I am sharing my screen. Please, Kyle, let me know if you guys can see it. Just let's see. Hmm. There you go. I only have two screens today. Can you see it now?
It just popped up. And I'm also posting a link to the Tuesday's webinar in the chat in case anyone's interested.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kyle. All right. So you guys can see the slides, right, Kyle?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Let me, um, hmm, Zoom is acting funny today. All right. I see your chat, Kyle. Let me switch off the video so you guys can get a full screen. And we start. So, all right, visualization services. I am going to skip talking about Connect in general and the other services and the other components that are part of Connect services or Connect the product. We're only going to focus on the visualization today. We only have 8 minutes to do, to go over all the slides and do the walkthrough and even see a short demo video. But for those of you maybe who were not there on Tuesday or who are not familiar with Connect, the basically all of these components that you're seeing here are part of Connect. The data ingress, aggregating data, contextualizing data, analyzing the data, preparing it for analytics, preparing it for the visualization, and even for AVEVA Advanced Analytics, which is the modeling and analytics component. All of that happens here in the data services. I like to think of visualization and the analytics, the AI and ML analytics as clients for the data services. That's all I'm going to say here in this slide. I don't want to sound repetitive. Now, talking about Connect visualization, one thing basically that I want to start with is that I want to make sure that it is clear that in Connect visualization, it's meant to be an enterprise visualization. And it allows you to bring many different data sources into one unified view. Not just, operational data, but also maybe business data, contextual data. So anything that you're seeing here, for example, HR data, financial data, production data, event data, GIS and weather data, right? Asset status, things like, asset specifications, all of these can be visualized together. They are all brought in data services, and from data services, they're all available in visualization. Once they make it to the data services, all of this data is available for you to utilize in the visualization services. The real value here is context. So instead of looking at data in silos, users can actually understand how things relate. So, for example, how an asset performance impacts production, right? Or it impacts cost, or it impacts even staffing. Visualizations aren't just charts. So we support maps, trends, KPIs, 3D models, even the visualization from your engineering tools, right? And any user entered data, all in one browser-based experience, which results in faster analysis, better decision making, collaboration across operations and maintenance and business teams, and so on. So above all this, the user also has the option to utilize the industrial AI assistant to ask natural language questions, right? And we're gonna see a demo on that, and I'll speak a little bit more about that. So once we can visualize everything together, the next question becomes here is how do we tailor this experience for different users? This is very important because not everyone needs to see the same data. So Connect lets you design the right view for the right role. Basically, it supports role-based dashboards, meaning each user sees information relevant to their responsibilities. For example, let's say an executive, right? A CEO or a director. They probably want to see high level KPIs. They will maybe want to see performance summaries. People like, people in operations and like site leaders maybe want to see operational status, bottlenecks, maybe daily performances. Engineers and specialists probably want to see something a little bit like more deeper technical insights and diagnostics, for example, maybe even historical data or detailed trends. They maybe even want to drill down to like, let's say, asset behavior or something like that. And then operators and field technicians are probably not interested in financial numbers. Probably they want to see something more simplified, more mobile friendly, focused on tasks and asset health and stuff like that. So this approach reduces noise and it improves adoption. It helps users basically make decisions faster without being overwhelmed with all the data that they don't need to see. The fact that all the data is available there for you to use in the visualization is great, but you also don't want to overwhelm the users with too much data that is irrelevant to their roles, basically. Having said that, um, there are a few types or few styles of visualizations that you can actually build in Connect Visualization today. And these are just few, right? So these are just categories like logical categories, I would say. But you can have more than this. So when we say styles, we're talking about like dashboard visualization, which is for high level KPIs and summaries again. Maybe enterprise visualization. This is where you would add like broader cross-site or even fleet level views to enable like comparison, trending, and like drilling down across assets or even regions. Maybe role-based visualization, just like we talked in the previous slide, process-based visualizations. This is that, the type of visualization that focus on production and process details, often, used for like HMI-like or operations-focused views. Asset-based visualization centered, around a single asset or, combined time series data with documents, 3D models, GIS, etc. So these are just some of the like visualization styles that you can implement in Connect Visualization. We're going to see a couple of examples in just a bit. Um, the visualization formats, which are different, these are like the three different formats that exist today in Connect Visualization that you can utilize to build your graphics. So the first one is the grid that was there like since the release of Connect Visualization. It's a responsive snap to visualization, basically that limits like the size and the placement of static content, and it includes no navigation. For anyone who's used Insight before, this is very similar. So this grid format is very similar. We used to create dashboards the same way in Insight. And then Aviva came up with Canvas that is a little bit newer than Grid, which is basically a free-form sketchboard that allows, for overlapping and layering content. It uses the same graphics, but it's a little bit different in the way you organize the pieces, basically, in your dashboard or your visualization in general. The third thing is experience. Um, which is an interactive visualization with, dynamically driven content. It has advanced functions and deep customization. This is the new technology in Connect visualization, and honestly, this is the very impressive format. We will see a couple of examples here, but I just want to mention that you can limit who access or who has the ability to build experiences based on like user permissions. So if you don't want everyone to be able to build experiences, so you don't end up with like tens and hundreds of experiences and you just want like specific like team to be responsible for building experiences for role-based visualization, you can definitely do that in the roles and roles assignments basically. All right. A little bit more. There's a library of configurable time series data content types. As you can see here, they're column charts, data grid, pie charts, line charts, status boards, and all of that good stuff. There's also, I just wanted to show you this in the slides. It's easier than clicking around and talking. I just took screenshots just to show you this here, but we're going to go and do a walkthrough. So don't worry, it's not all going to be slides. There's also a library of configurable event data content types. As you can see here again, gauges, line charts, pie charts, grids, equipment status, OEE, OEE KPIs and analysis, and OEE KPI trends, production summaries, utilization time analysis, utilization summaries. All of these are built in. You drag and drop and then add the data points that you want them to pop up. That's it. You don't have to script anything. You don't have to import anything. All of these exist there. They're pre-configured. Everything is ready to just drag and drop to configure. Very similar to the way you would build like a vision, what is it called? Pi vision screen. The other thing I wanted to show here is this library of configurable 1D, 2D, and 3D data content types. So this is maybe more on the engineering side. So like point cloud viewer, document viewer, 3D viewer, right? Microsoft Power BI. So a lot of good stuff there. A little bit more on the configurable graphics. There are a lot of different symbols in here that exist, out of the box. More graphics, more graphics. I'm gonna skip that, and then I'm gonna jump to the good stuff. So industrial AI assistant exists today in Connect Visualization. It uses what we call semantic indexing to understand the intent behind a question, rather than, relying on exact keywords, which allows it to surface related information across data sources, as you could see here in the video. So for example, linking things like air velocity with like wind speed, right? So as a result, users can quickly find and summarize relevant insights across the data that they have, including documents and models. So to maintain security and trust, and this is a very important point that not a lot of people know, is that to make sure this is used properly and appropriately, all results are filtered by the user's existing permissions, ensuring access only to, authorized information. So we want to make sure that not everyone can come and ask, some financial, for example, summaries, or whatever the user has or authorized to see. That's what the AI assistant gonna show them. It's gonna filter because it knows the person is logged in, so it knows who's talking to it, right? Behind the scene, the assistant automatically builds linked knowledge across data sources without manual configuration, which enables faster discovery, as information evolves. It also supports voice to text interaction, chat history, and configuration management, and also user feedback. So while the built-in guardrails, help prevent inappropriate or out of scope questions. I think the demo is repeating, right? Yeah. And as you could see here, provides charts, it provides the sources and citation. So it's pretty neat, although it's still under development. I mean, continuously. It is available, but it's still under improvement. So a little bit more on Industrial AI Assistant. It can show you charts, it can show you pieces of graphics, as you could see, and it can also show you multiple responses, and it can show you citations. So you can click on dynamic links that it provides you to kind of like land on a site or an asset, or even like the link for a stream, for example, right? So you can land on that page, you can see the dashboard, you can see any graphics that exist on that specific piece of equipment, for example. So that's that for the AI assistant. I think I'm done with my slides actually. Let me stop sharing for just a second to make sure I have the right screen up there. And I'm gonna start the walkthrough. I want to shut down the presentation so I'm not confused. I have so many windows. All right. Uh, so let's see. Okay. So this is the first thing. And please, Kyle, if you could let me know when you guys can see it.
Yeah, sure thing.
Gonna reshare this one more time. There you go.
There we go. It's up.
Perfect. So just very quickly, if you're wondering how to access visualization service, you can access it here through the Connect portal, right? So Connect portal is different than Connect services. Connect services is just a solution that you can access and manage through the Connect portal. Connect portal manages more than that. You could see here laser scans and other stuff, insights and other services. Anything that's a cloud service in AVEVA is managed and accessed through this Connect portal. So the other day we accessed the data services. This is how the data services look like. This is where you would import your data, manage your data, and all of that. I'm not gonna spend time on that today, but just in case you haven't seen it before. And if you want to access visualization, it's again through here. So you click on visualization, you land on the homepage of the visualization, hopefully. Okay, hi. I think I already have some open. Yeah, I have something open there. Uh, and one thing you notice as soon as you land on this visualization services homepage is that this platform was definitely designed to be intuitive and to enable the user to be very productive very quickly. There isn't really, when I was preparing for this webinar, I was, trying to just like practice and go through this. There isn't much to explain here. I mean, browse is browse and create is create. It's very easy to learn. What you need to do is actually to sit and start building things here to get familiar with the platform, to get familiar with how, pieces of content snap into the grid versus how to overlay some of the content, or how to, for example, add data to your visualization, for example, or something like that, or how to create navigation for the experience. But I mean, in terms of explaining how things work, it's pretty straightforward. As you can see here, the menu to the left side, you can browse existing. So this information, asset types and assets and streams are all coming from the data services. So asset types, we talked about asset rules the other day. So if I click here, for example, I'll see a bunch of assets, quite a lot, and I'll see the synchronization status for all of them. I can also look at assets list instead of asset type. And then things like streams, for example. So everything is coming from data services. Okay. Now, if you want to browse visualization that is also possible. You can browse experiences and visualizations that were built either by you or other team members, or you can also see the summary here when you first land on the homepage. This is the number of assets we have, the number of streams we have, and number of visualization. The visualization here is divided into two categories. There's experiences, right? And then there's visualizations, which include grid and canvas, right? So all of this. I think this is a summary of the most accessed pieces, but the number of visualizations we have in this demo is actually quite large. Um, After that, you move to create visualization that will include, experiences, grids, and canvas. I think I don't have the permission here to create experiences. I have it on my actually our own what is it called? Let me bring it up first. Our own demo, I have the ability to create an experience. As I mentioned in the slides, not every user, you can basically give a user permission to create experience or, prevent them from doing that. That's also possible. So in this demo here from AVEVA, they haven't given me the permission to create experiences. So the menu looks a little bit different, but to create a visualization, you can choose canvas or grid. These are the two types that we talked about. You can also add asset. So choose a specific asset here. Let's see, GU, was it GU or GE? So for example, you look at the asset and create a dashboard for that specific asset. The thing is, this will work it will work the same way PyVision works. So if you create visualization for a specific asset or link this visualization to a specific asset, it will create similar dashboards to sister assets, let's say. So if you have generators, if you have 5 generators, you need to create one dashboard for one of them. The other 4 generators probably have similar streams or similar data points, so it creates the dashboards automatically. This is the Canvas what is it called? Canvas visualization type here. And you can add content. As you can see here, there is, the graphics that we talked about. As you're scrolling down, they'll pop up more and more. So the menu grows bigger. All of these are existing out of the box, and they're all included in Connect. There's like no extra charge for this library. Also, there's asset efficiency library here, as you could see, asset information. Event visualizations is very important. This is also a new feature, and then the normal visualization stuff, like if you want to add like line charts, pie charts and other things. And there's also the Power BI here and the map graphics. I'm going to show you built examples. I'm not going to waste your time, looking at me trying to create something nice. So what I'm going to do is I actually already ran one of these experiences. So I do want to show you an experience. This is how a built experience looks like. As you could see here, we're trying to show multiple different sites, right? And you can click on all of these sites. There's a little bit of KPIs on the top here. So if I do click on this solar farm, for example, I can land on that specific page here. And then some of these are also dynamic links, right? Some of these are the graphics that we just looked at. And we can like click on a specific block. You could see the trends. You can control the time window also. So this is a normal view of like a dashboard, right? With all the existing library of graphics that we talked about earlier, including like 3D views and stuff like that. You can also upload documents here. One thing I didn't mention actually is that Connect Visualization gets the data from two different sources, either data services or AIM. AIM is the asset information management system from AVEVA, right? And you can include or add that data also into here, right? Into these visualizations. So this is basically just to go back here, you could notice you can notice the navigation here. So when we talked earlier, we said in Canvas and in Grid there is no navigation versus the experience that allows you to navigate. So experiences include navigation also, right? As you could see here. So if you guys are, if someone is familiar with OMI, this is a little bit similar to OMI. Even the way you would build it, it's similar to OMI. It's just a little bit simpler, I would say. So these are like the different sites. As you can see here, is a navigation pane on the top, and then the content pane in the middle. You can add dynamic links, as I mentioned, and maps and other stuff. So what else to show here? Just clicking around just to show you, how this experience looks like, right? And again, these experiences can be designed for like specific sites or specific role-based like experiences, for example. You can, in the future, you'll be able to also add or import Vision screens into Connect Visualization. I think that feature is coming out soon. Otherwise, I'm just gonna jump back. Experience looks pretty neat. I'm gonna jump back and just show you a normal dashboard. This is a normal, what I call a dashboard here. Just a normal visualization type. So if we look at the visualizations one more time, all of these are different visualizations. You could see the owner, and you could see all the details about who is it shared with and when was it modified and things like that. So like a plant overview. All right. Um, this is pretty much everything I wanted to show you in the walkthrough. I showed the AI assistant. The AI assistant is accessible through here. So you would click on the AI assistant here, and it knows who it's talking to. It already knows my the permissions I have, security permissions I have. So it knows how to answer basically the questions and what information to kind of provide me. One last thing I wanted to show here is when you click on create, I am 100% sure this was not there last week. And it turns out that this is actually a query builder for AIM data. So AIM, the asset information management system, this is how you access the data, right? So apparently, this is a new feature. It is actually only available, it seems like it was only unlocked here in the AVEVA demo. I don't even have it unlocked in my system yet or in my solution yet. This is my solution. This is our local. So you see here when I try and create, I can create an experience here, but I don't have that query yet. So AVEVA keeps on working on this. They're investing so much time and money and effort in this platform. New features are coming out every day, new releases coming out soon also for V2 2026. There's a lot going on. So if you guys you want to know more, you want to learn more, please feel free to reach out. I think I'm going to stop here just to be respectful of everyone's time. I'm going to keep the last 2 minutes for questions. I can see already in the chat we have a few questions. And yeah, that's that. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Alcanza. Yeah, like Alcanza said, we're going to take some time to answer a few questions here. So if you guys have anything that you want to ask, feel free to use the little Q&A box down there and we'll get to them live. But we did get a couple questions already. Someone asked, is Connect Visualization replacing AVEVA Vision?
No. The answer is no. They are two different they have two different roles. Connect is a cloud native enterprise visualization, for integrated like business and industrial data, versus PiVision, which remains an on-premises with PiServer. PiVision is only a client for PiServer. With the future feature enabling PiVision displays to be published into Connect, as I mentioned.
Awesome. All right. We've got another one here. What data sources are used with Connect Visualization?
Um, so as I mentioned, Connect Visualization uses data from the data services. in Connect, right? So anything that is coming to the data services, whether it's Aviva Historian, Aviva Pi server, third parties, we have Aviva adapters that talk to OPC UA, MQTT, BACnet, and quite few different protocols here and there. And the Edge Data Store, we can even use REST APIs for any third party to talk to Connect. All the data that is available in the data sources is available for the visualization client. I like to call it client. It's available for the Connect visualization service, to be correct. Also AIM, right? As I mentioned. So AIM is the asset information management system from Aviva. If I'm not mistaken, there will be, I think, also visualization for MES events. But I'm not going to talk a lot about that because I still don't know much about that topic. But yeah, these are the data sources.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. We got another one here. Is it possible to retrieve data directly from on-premises Aviva Pi servers?
That's an interesting question. A good question. The answer for that is through Connect, through data services. You will need to use the Pi to Connect agent to talk to the data service. If you don't want to use the data services and you're more interested in using visualization, and you're not interested in all of the analytics features that data services come with, you don't have to configure anything. You just need to push the data, use it as a pipeline. You push the data from your Pi server to connect data services, which will make it automatically available in your visualization. So think of it as a communication driver. That's it.
Awesome. And then it looks like one last one here. Someone just asked, is there any additional cost for experience visualizations?
Um, The answer is no. There's no extra cost for experience visualization for sure. As you could see, I was able to access it through my account. You can just basically configure user permissions to either allow some users to use experiences or not. Um, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. We'll keep things open for any last minute questions, but I think I'll go ahead and close things out here.
Actually, sorry, Kyle,
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah.
one thing that I wanted to add for that question about the sources.
Yeah.
Today, it is available to pull data into experiences or to build experiences with a utility, but that is only available for customers who want to work with Aviva. There is a program called Lighthouse Program, basically some sort of a service engagement with Aviva that will enable that customer to get some features unlocked, including using this utility that can import even third-party systems visualization into and the experience visualization on Connect. I hope I'm making sense.
No, I got that. Awesome. All right. I think that's the last of our questions. So with that, I'd like to thank you, Alcanza, and I'd like to thank everyone who attended here this morning. If anyone would like to review any portion of this webinar, a recording will be available on YouTube and our website, california.avevaselect.com. And once available, you will also be receiving a copy of it via email. So I would like to thank everyone here for attending and wish you guys a great day.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Thursday.